What if I told you the modern world, the one you're living in right now, was largely built by a man whose name most people struggle to pronounce, let alone recognize? A visionary whose inventions power your phone, your lights, your entire city, yet he died alone, broke, and almost completely forgotten. This isn't just a story of a brilliant mind, it's a mystery of how a genius of his magnitude could simply vanish from the collective memory. We're talking about Nikola Tesla, a name whispered among engineers and history buffs, but conspicuously absent from mainstream adoration. How did the man who gave us alternating current, radio, remote control, and even hinted at wireless energy, end up a forgotten recluse, sharing his final days with pigeons, while others took credit for his groundbreaking work? Get ready, because the truth behind Nikola Tesla's forgotten legacy is more shocking than any science fiction, and it's about to redefine everything you thought you knew about modern innovation. Born in 1856 in a small village in the Austrian Empire, Nikola Tesla was a child prodigy, blessed with an eidetic memory and a mind that saw the world in vivid, almost prophetic, images. While other children played, Tesla was sketching complex inventions in his head, often experiencing flashes of light that would lead to his next big idea. After studying engineering and physics, the lure of opportunity drew him to America in 1884, with little more than a few coins, a book of poetry, and a letter of recommendation to the most famous inventor of his time, Thomas Edison. Tesla's arrival in New York was full of promise. Edison, impressed by the young Serb's brilliance, hired him. Legend has it, Edison once offered Tesla $50,000, a fortune back then, to fix a design flaw in his DC motors. Tesla, after months of relentless work, succeeded. But when he asked for his payment, Edison reportedly laughed, claiming it was an American joke. This moment was a turning point. Tesla quit, his idealism shattered, and set out on his own path. What followed was perhaps the most intense scientific rivalry in history, the War of the Currents. Edison championed direct current, DC, a system that was inefficient for long-distance transmission, requiring power plants every few miles. Tesla, however, saw the future in alternating current, AC. He knew AC could transmit electricity over vast distances with minimal loss, effectively lighting up entire regions from a single power station. The established scientific community and Edison waged a ferocious propaganda campaign against AC, even publicly electrocuting animals to scare people, falsely claiming AC was too dangerous. But Tesla, backed by industrialist George Westinghouse, persisted. His AC system triumphed, famously powering the Chicago World's Fair in 1893, a dazzling spectacle that convinced the world. From that moment, AC became the standard, and it still is, powering virtually every home and business on Earth. But Tesla's genius didn't stop there. While others were still debating electricity, he was already envisioning a world connected wirelessly. He demonstrated remote control in 1898 with a radio-controlled boat, decades before anyone else. He was instrumental in the development of radio, often having his patents overlooked or challenged by Guglielmo Marconi. He explored X-rays, radar, and even theorized about particle beam weapons, concepts that sounded like pure fantasy at the time. His grandest vision? Free, wireless energy for the entire planet. He began building Wardenclyffe Tower on Long Island, a massive, futuristic structure intended to transmit electricity and information wirelessly across the Atlantic. It was a dream of global connection and abundant energy, funded initially by J.P. Morgan. But as Morgan realized Tesla's intention was to provide energy freely, without meters or payment, he pulled his funding. The tower, a symbol of Tesla's audacious dreams, stood unfinished, a monument to a future that never quite arrived. Tesla's later years were marked by increasing eccentricity. He became obsessed with numbers divisible by 3, was a germaphobe, and developed a peculiar affection for pigeons, often bringing injured birds back to his hotel room to nurse them. He continued to envision incredible inventions, but struggled to translate them into commercial success. As the world embraced the AC system he created, Nikola Tesla faded into obscurity, his radical ideas dismissed as the ramblings of a mad scientist. He died in 1943, alone in a New York hotel room, leaving behind a legacy of unparalleled innovation, yet a life that ended in tragic solitude. The heartbreaking truth is that Nikola Tesla's disappearance from history wasn't entirely accidental. While his eccentricities and inability to commercialize his inventions certainly played a role, there was also a concerted effort by powerful interests and rival inventors to overshadow his contributions. Edison, for all his genius, waged a brutal war of the currents that tarnished Tesla's reputation. Marconi took credit for radio, a technology Tesla had largely developed first, with the U.S. Supreme Court only officially recognizing Tesla's radio patents posthumously in 1943. Perhaps the most significant reason for his initial erasure was that his grandest visions, like free wireless energy, threatened the very foundation of the industrial and financial systems of his time. Imagine a world where electricity was a free utility, it would undermine entire industries. So, the man who dreamed of illuminating the world and connecting humanity with boundless energy was sidelined, his radical ideas deemed too dangerous, too unprofitable. It wasn't until decades after his death, as technology caught up with his predictions, that the world slowly began to rediscover the true extent of his genius. Today, the unit of magnetic flux density is named the Tesla, and his name is synonymous with innovation, electric vehicles, and the very concept of a connected world. The irony is profound, the future he tirelessly worked to build ultimately remembered him, but only after he was gone. He truly was the mad genius who invented our modern world, only to be forgotten by it for far too long. If you're as fascinated by this forgotten history as I am, hit that like button, share this video, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our next dive into the untold stories of the past.